Hello. We've discussed tarot before. I can't remember if I actually made a YouTube video or if I just did it in my group, but I wanted to do a quick run through of that video and then suggest the next step. I use the Circo deck. Very descriptive, very pretty, easy to read for me, as you can see. And what you'll do is like I said before, you will start with a journal, and you will take each card starting with each suit. Each one will start with an ace. So if you start with the Ace of Wands, then you'll go to the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands, and so on and so forth. Leave your court cards and your minor arcana cards and your major arcana cards till the end. What you'll do is you will look at the card. For example, I just pulled out the Four of Swords. And what you'll do is, if you don't have a book, which with this came a book, it was called, if I can find it, I haven't used it in so long. Let's see here. It's called The Easy Tarot Handbook, and it's Josephine Ellershaw who wrote it. And she gives a really good description of what each card means. If you can't get the book, you can easily look up the meanings online. However, what you also want to do in addition to that is, like, on one side write the literal meaning of it, and then on the other side you want to write what the card means to you, who it reminds you of, or what time period in your life maybe, so you will have an actual personal connection to this card. And this is of course during the time you're sleeping with the cards under your pillow wrapped in the cloth. You want these cards, some people say 3 days, I say longer. I say sleep with them under at least a week, if not all the time. Especially if you know you're going to be doing a reading the next day. You want all your energy and you want the divines, to connect with you through these. So anyway, you'll go through each of the cards, and for every card you'll write down literal meaning and then the connection to you. Okay? And then I suggest for your first reading you do this. What you'll do is you'll take a card. After you read how to shuffle them, you always shuffle from right to left, and then you cut the deck into three spots, and then you put it back together. And then you'll draw 3 cards. Okay? So you'll draw your first card, and it may be, whatever, it doesn't really matter. And you'll draw your second card, and you'll draw your third card. And these will all apply to a time in the day. Your first card will be morning, so the hours of waking and noon. Your next one will be for the hours of noon to roughly 5 o'clock. And your last card will be from 5 until you go to sleep. And what you do is to test yourself and to see if you're actually learning and reading, and if you have the divination in your hands as of yet. You will see if each card actually at the end of the day related and was accurate, in some way, shape, or form. Usually they are, but you want to be able to test your relation to these cards, so if you were in an actual reading, you could easily, decipher a message that is hidden in the cards, or the correlation between 2 cards, or how one aspects another, if you feel this way because of this, or, so on and so forth. That would actually be probably the best way to start. I would never ever jump into a reading. I spent a lot of time studying the tarot and choosing a deck before I ever read for anybody but myself. And now it's to the point I don't have to have the person in front of me. I can do them through Facebook, through texting on there. I can do them through Skype. I do them however needed, and I have been very lucky. I have been blessed. So I really strongly suggest, if you are serious about tarot and you want this to be the form of divination that you master, it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of dedication, and you have to show that dedication. So like I said, study each card, find a personal meaning to it. I mean, this can be an event in life. This can be, it reminds me of my brother, or it reminds me of the time I went here, or it reminds me of when I had to go to this court proceeding, or anything. No one's going to read that journal but you. So, and then in addition to that, once you start doing readings, even for yourself, keep a tarot journal. And in these journals, you will write down, like, you'll do your squares for your cards. Literally draw it out. If you're doing the 3, draw 3 squares across the top. And then you'll write down what they are. And at the end of the day, like I said, write down morning, I had this card, this happened, that related to this card, and do that. Do that for about 2 weeks before you even read another spread, or for anybody for that matter. Really, you got to understand how much it will affect someone if you go to read for them and you are not accurate, or you misread cards and you relay to them something that makes them affect their destiny in a way that they really were not supposed to, by giving them a false reading. Not by intent, of course, it's not going to be something you mean to do, but it's just basically because you weren't ready, and excitement gets the best of us sometimes. So just make sure that you're ready, and you will feel this sudden burst of confidence. Like, you won't go into it like, oh God, I hope I don't fuck all this up. You'll go into it and you'll be like, okay, all right, I'm ready. I'm going to lay these down, and I know what my correspondences mean, and I know what this means, and I know how this aspects this card. A lot of people talk about the inverted, where the card's upside down. Personally, I would say don't. I don't do that, because I feel like if they are really going to send us a message, they're going to make it very clear. And it also makes it much more confusing. Not saying I won't look at this down the road in the future, but I've never had a reason to. I've never questioned a spread before and it not been clear to me. So, that's personal choice, but it's more studying on your part if you're going to go with the inverted route as well. After you're done with these basic ones, start trying spreads on yourself. Then pick someone you trust, like maybe a sister or brother, and make sure they're old enough to understand, or your mother, someone that knows what you're doing, even a boyfriend, and let them know, you may not be right yet, but you want to test your abilities on somebody else. And you will get a feeling whenever you're reading them. So whenever you actually do jump in to do it for someone you don't know that well, which are the most exciting ones, you'll be ready. You won't be so nervous. It's like they say, well, if you're getting on stage, imagine everybody naked. Like, I never did that, but I've never been someone who was scared to get up and talk in front of people either, but it's just one of those things, test, study, and the divines will appreciate that even more, and they will bless you in that area. So I hope this helps you with the whole tarot reading thing, and like I said, always feel free to ask questions. I say this at the end of every video. Feel free to ask questions. No question is stupid, and every question will get answered, either if it's here or through the group Solitary, Pagan, and Wiccan Gathering. Just ask away. That's what I'm here for. I didn't learn everything just to keep it all to myself. So, and if you need a tarot reading, you reach out as well. I'm happy to help. I do not charge for them. I don't believe in doing that. I don't believe that I charge for a gift that was never really mine in the first place. So, yeah, that one's about it. I just wanted to touch base with that because a lot of people ask about the tarot. Now, oracle cards and everything else, that's another form of divination we'll get into some other time. But tarot, I love it. I love it, I love it, I love it. It took a long time to get to where I am with it, but it's worth it if you do it. So I hope this was a little helpful to you, and I hope you have a wonderful, productive, and blessed day. And we will meet again very soon. Have a great day.